There it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're absolutely amazing. So let's jump into some market action. I'm going to kick off with analysis on the 128 here on Bitcoin because I didn't complete this for you yesterday. I did say I was going to stop there and come down. I did exactly that. So let's get that rebuild so we can look at how far it wants to go down before it kicks back up along the higher frame over there. Stay down. The names of the highs and the lows. As we complete this market cycle. All right, so moving on to the scaling. All right. It's probably best to follow the checklist. I've done so 1,000 times, but as we're taking this seriously, let's do that. So I'm just going to take the checklist items off first, and then we can continue. So from a trend direction perspective, we can see from the higher frame and from the trading chart that we're working with, we're obviously in a high uptrend because of that high breaking 7. So that means there'll be a higher low. I think my kids are looking for me. All right, turning point spacing. We're running out of space here for where the turning point's going to turn around. So I wouldn't say it's going to be outside of this region anywhere further than that. So that's just something to consider in terms of turning point spacing. Scaling, let's have a look at what we've got on offer to us. There is a little bit of a double top here, but I'm going to go with the more obvious high over there. All right, so a beautiful bend. Sorry, before I continue, I get so frustrated with the low lives that exist on the internet. When you put out great content with high accuracy and give a glimpse of how pro traders should adjust themselves to live market conditions and making money in the markets, which is a very stacked and loaded thing to accomplish, just by the way. It's so aggravating how people just have the ability just to comment and negative comments on that. I had this guy saying, if you have AI, what do you say? Something along the lines of, if you're the best charter, then why do you have AI? And it's obvious. Like, if you hit a ceiling and doing the same procedure over and over again, if you're doing this over and over again, then the next evolution of it is to automate it. And the best way to automate it is through artificial intelligence. And we just get such stupid people in the world. It's the kind of guys that I can almost imagine in the classroom and walking by, but like having no relevance, and then getting onto the internet and then having the ability to comment wherever they want. And it's just like, those guys drive me nuts. So I'm going to just drop the losers and continue to add value to the winners. So let's move forward with this, but just thought I was take the opportunity to get it off my chest. All right, so the kill zone, we're out of kill zone, which means that we are clear to open up a trade. We'll have a look at the reward level to see if it's worthwhile getting it now. Just by the way, I don't recommend counter trend trading. So if you're looking to get into trading, we can go to that side of the analysis in a sec. But counter trend trading is not advised, because you can, if you're trading on trend, you can enter late and exit early and still be profitable, which is something that most traders aren't. So try trade with trend as much as possible. Sometimes it's okay to get the counter trend move and jump in on that fast moving liquidity, but trade with trend where possible. All right, so kill zone, clearly out of it. Time projection. Oh, I'm so agitated. So sometimes I think what I'm feeling is actually those who can't do criticize, and you get the guys like who build things, who do things, who pioneer through things. Those are the guys like myself, and then you get the other guys who don't want to learn from it, and they just kind of troll it. I hate trolls so much. They just represent people that we just don't need wasting our oxygen. Okay, right, I'm going to leave it there. All right, so the cube root, we got kind of some options. Let's see what they are. I think 39 or 20 will be our best options. The guys who understand the strategy will know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go with 20. I think 39 is a bit deep in, and it's kind of come down quite quickly. So I'm going to leave it here, somewhere within this range. So therefore, much that's behind here, I'm not going to suggest is a high probability. Let's just have a look at the time forecast. So the support line, which is basically, I want to jump ahead to that I'm looking at just because of this information presented here, I would say is this one, where I've put the purple arrow with my mouse is moving up and down. And I think where price is trying to get to is out here, but I did make a mistake of going too deep the last time. So I'm going to bring these up here a little further. And suggest it comes along to one of these kind of areas. Oscillator switched open and down. Price projection, as I made mention to, I think we've got either some interaction at that point or that point. So somewhere within that range by the looks of it. Who else can get this level of accuracy? I genuinely believe I'm one of the best charters on the planet. I just don't spend a lot of time doing search optimization and hashtags and marketing and paying for stuff. So maybe I'm not popular, but I'll go head to head with anyone, and no one's ever taken me up on that challenge. So until proven otherwise, which there's a lot of evidence why I am the best, or one of the best, one of the best. So I want to leave it there. And again, if you want to challenge that, trolls, let's go one-on-one, head-to-head. Turn for turn, I'll outrun you. I can tell you that for sure. All right, arc curve. Yeah, the resistance is either there or there. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Going on to the trade side. So what I want to chat about today is the reactiveness of guys on the market. So many people open up a trade and then they just sit there until late hours of the night because they are really concerned that they open it in the wrong direction and they want to babysit the trade. Now, that's unhealthy for many reasons, especially if you're losing sleep, because health and a healthy brain is far more important than whatever's happening on the screens. I know this from experience. I hit burnout quite often because I go all in and I move with pace. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to having a clear brain, or whatever the case would be, whilst trading. So my recommendation is to get to know something like what I've got over here and work in line with the probability mathematics like I've got here. The things I've built are there for a reason. It's not for decoration. It's not because I like to add a little bit of process and have a bit of fun whilst opening up trades. I actually don't like to follow a process, and that's why discipline for me is difficult, and that's why I'm going to reinforcement learning and artificial intelligence to kind of close the gaps of where I'm naturally weak at. Impatience, greed, the normal stuff. And with this system, though, for most who don't have AI, have this because it helps you against the big onslaught of general problems that most people face whilst trying to make money in the market. And there are a lot of good people trying to make money in the market. I know people who are looking after their parents, and there is, they're surviving, they're getting by. But when it's all these additional expenses that are obviously necessary, you have to see where you can draw in extra cash flow from. And the market is a place one can do that. But the pressure, of course, to perform is like psychologically messing people around and that sort of thing. And again, that's why I highly recommend a checklist to go through the process over here. I've got market structure, key essential. I've got the timing of the market, key essential. The oscillators are nice to have. Price projection, pretty strong essential as well. And then the support lines and where it's going to stop and turn around at. So I'll only focus on the essential core stuff, not frills and all these unnecessary things, just the stuff that matters most, as well as the probability mathematics that should back your quantitative strategic approach towards opening up a trade or not, because it could look good just out the gate. It's so easy to go to the charts and go, that looks like a good trade, but your system, if it's good enough, will quantify it, and only if it recommends that it's a good trade, you should act on it. But a lot of the times, it actually isn't a good trade, and having a system to stop you from it, I think I've spoken about this a lot, is so valuable, because you don't get blindsided by excitement and enthusiasm and the desire to make money. You get told what is and act on what is. So how do you not babysit a trade? Well, should the system give you the go-ahead, then it's about entering and exiting at the right places. Now, it's not a good idea to go counter trend. However, that is a speculative argument depending on which time frame you're working on, because you can be going on a downward kind of tangent over here on the higher frame and be able to make some money on the lower frame, as long as you know what's going on there and what's expected. So if your entry point is well timed and you don't rush to get in, you wait to get in after that point over there, and we know that price is going to travel down in a diagonal format, not horizontal. Price, guys, for anyone who still believes that support and resistance is horizontal, you've been taught bad, or you've picked up bad habits, please drop them. Take it from me. It's a lot of free information and quality information that I'm sharing with you. Price action is diagonal. Support is diagonal. It zigzags along the chart. It's diagonal support lines, okay? So once it's nominated a diagonal support line and it's outside of this danger zone, I call it the kill zone, and it starts to move, then you can get in with confidence and just watch it progress. Or you don't have to watch it progress. Just kind of know that it's going to progress along that support line to where the dedicated or the highest probability turning around point is going to be. And that's how you make your money. So those who are uncertain and are reactive to the markets and in a place of fear, in a place of being on their back foot, but trying to make it win, and like another loss and more money down the drain and all that kind of stuff. You can avoid all of that by having something like this. And again, I've been through that so many times that I had to design something like this. And then, for example, over here, so we're going to the right-hand side of the switches. All right, so the switches, again, are based on the Kelly criterion, probability, mathematics, strategic, quantitative approach to opening up a trade. Well, I've adopted it and adapted it to trading and into my strategy. But the core math is there, all right? And it saved my ass many times, and hopefully it'll do the same for you. So in terms of trend direction, the answer is no, because it's counter trend trade. Turning point spacing, it looks good, so we're happy with that. Scaling looks good, and we're happy with that. The kill zone is definitely left, so it's okay to open up a position. The time projection we've calculated, and there's a little bit of movement there, so that's fine. Kubrick agrees with it. Like the time component, and having 2 or 3 time components, because there's also the sine wave that I haven't shown you guys, as well as bringing it all together with the fan line and the oscillator plus the time component. So you get like 5 different checks to see whether or not that highest probability is going to work out or not. And this is how I'm pretty confident that I'm one of the best on planet Earth at this, because I can forecast the future of price action days ahead of time. Hours easily, sometimes days, and on the higher frames, up to weeks ahead of time, just by following these core essentials of the market. And then when it comes to trading, having the probability agree or disagree with whether or not it's a good idea to open up a trade. So the oscillator is great. The price projection is strong. We got 2 options over here, which are going to affect our reward level. So again, I factored in risk reward over here. So important. A lot of people don't even plan the exit. They don't even know the risk reward. They just want to get in, try and make some money and jump out. But you're not going to make a lot of money that way. You got to know 1:1. I've explained risk reward many times before, so I won't cover it right now. I'm running up, pardon me, out of time anyway. And then the fan line R curve. So where price is now, I would say conservatively, here's the inverse of risk reward, in the sense that where price is, if your entry is here, then your risk is 2:1. All right, 2 risk ratio to 1 reward ratio. That's not what you want. You want 1 risk is to 2 parts reward, and ultimately, where you can, 1:3. That's where this move over here from 8 to 9 comes in, or even more than that. But 1:3 is what you want. So if that's very quickly, you've got $10 to put into a trade. You're risking $1. All right. So if it goes wrong, it goes down to $9. But if it goes right, it can go up to $13. So that's the risk reward ratio, 1:3. And that obviously amps up and scales up to whichever direction the size of your position exists. And according to that, it's kind of late in the game. Let's see if the system will allow us to open up a trade. As I thought it wouldn't. Maybe if we get to a risk reward, it's 1:1 because it's 2/2. So the risk reward 2, but also, risk reward ratio is 1:1, but it's 2 risk in ratio to 2 reward. And let's see what happens here. All right, so we're allowed to put in a smaller amount, and just kind of for the sake of closing off the video, I want to put an entry of 73,650. And this all works in line with the scaling and the market energy of the now moment. Very clever thinking, very innovative thinking, very practical thinking. It's a thinking that you guys want people to be discovering and sharing. So you're welcome. And for the trolls, suck it. All right, and there we go. Here's your rewards. There's your target levels, stop losses, the position of account, how big to go, everything presented right there. Have a good one, guys. Ciao for now. Catch you in the next one.